Hey, hey, peace. What's going on, you guys? K1GMM, sorry about the high camera, but just somebody asked me about the station, so I'll do a quick rundown. Most of the station is all software, very little hardware. So the first thing is let's get into, I just got a quick picture I'm going to show. Um, let's get over here. I'm gonna go through everything. Oh, I've got all kinds of madness going on here. So let's get rid of this. Get rid of all this stuff. And this, you don't need this. Okay, that should be just the main, and it is. Coolio. Let me just grab the picture. Let's see, downloads. Okay, this is basically my station, believe it or not. What you see right here, this is a dummy load, which is not connected currently, but it will be. This is the Sun radio. I run a Sun SDR2DX, and this is the PW1 amplifier. This is an ICOM 1 kilowatt amp, and everything comes through the wall. This is in the exercise room, the other room. All right, let's get out of there. And we are going to get over to trying to figure out the best way to do this. So I'll walk you through some things. This is so simplified compared to the cluster I used to have. It's very clean. I love my desk. There's not much on here. So over here, right there is the giant watt meter. That's the MFJ, whatever it is. MFJ something. It's that giant watt meter. I love that thing because I'm going blind. This is the remote head unit for the PW1. Comes through the wall in on the desk. What else? The main monitor is an Asus. This is a Calman certified monitor. It's not going to mean anything to you guys, but I've gotten back into photography recently, and this is my primary imaging monitor. It's a stellar monitor. And I use this. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see that. That is a Datacolor Spider X Pro. I'm not going to open it because you guys don't care about that. What that does is it calibrates the monitor. And you can see over there, behind my lava lamp is the large format printer, which I use for printing, and that is for the printing process. Okay. Power supply for the rig is right there. That is an Linko DM something. It's a 30 amp power supply, basically. What do we got? Over here is my secondary monitor, and this carries all of the software for processing audio coming in and out of the radio, and I'll go through that quickly in a moment. This right here is a sound card, which basically handles all of the audio to the speakers, headphones. It also aids in passing audio to the rig in and out. That's an M Audio Air 192.4. This is running, even though there is a ASIO driver installed for this. I do not run it in ASIO. I run all on MME or WDM because the ASIO driver is problematic with this. Since I started running it in MME, I can't notice any difference in latency really, and it's 100% rock stable. I just love this card. I've got a couple other cards. The Behringer works really good, but the problem with the Behringer is that it's that little card, is that it doesn't have a separate control for headphone volume. And that's a problem. Let me get over to the desk quick. So that's it for that. This microphone is my favorite mic. It's the Audio-Technica ATM25. No longer made. Very versatile microphone and capable of terrifying audio. Voodoo ESSB stuff, but I use it for everything. This, haven't been using this lately. You guys have probably seen this from videos of old. See if I can do this without ruining them. Oh, God. Yeah, this headset's on, the headphones are on the way out. I've got them pinned together. But this is the Audio-Technica. It's hard to see. So let me put it up here. What I have is an Audio-Technica Pro 8 HE headset that is epoxied to these headphones. And that is a great headset for DX and general rag chewing, but it takes a lot of brute force to get that to sing for rag chewing. Primary frequency response on that is 800 to, I think it's 800 to 2 kilohertz or something like that. It's horrid, capable of very brittle, bone-crushing audio. Let's see. Now we're going to move this way. So that I'll get back on the other camera. I should have a close-up camera, but I've done videos on this before. So the microphone, the start of the processing, this is all rack with a caveat, and I'll get into that in a moment. It's a ultra gain. The microphone's plugged into an Ultra Gain Pro preamp, Behringer. It's got a built-in parametric EQ in it, and then that flows into a Rane ME30B, which is a 30-band graphical EQ, and then that flows into an Aphex 204. From the 204 goes into a Composer Pro XL by Behringer, which is a compressor limiter gate. And then that goes into an FX 2000 Behringer, which puts a little touch of reverb on it because this room is very dead. As you can see, I've got sound dampening material on each side and then over the top because I get a huge slapback echo when I talk. So I'm going to make a little noise here. Sorry about this. Just straighten back out. All right, so that is the audio chain, and then what I do is that I come out analog with a 1/4-inch cable into the sound card, into channel 1 of the sound card. And just before we move off of this, oh, his leg's covering up the cup. You can see here, I've got Woodstock, because I'm into bird photography now. So I got my friend Woodstock sitting here, and he's holding on to his amped coffee cup, drinking some coffee. Of course, I got my notorious lava lamp, which I moved off the shelf up there because I just wanted to. Adds a little ambiance to the shack, right? Okay, here we go into the nitty-gritty. So audio path to the rig. First thing is I use the EE2 software. I do not use V3 because it's crap, in my opinion. I really like this radio, even though Expert has pretty much dropped the ball on development of software, which is the reason why everybody dumped the radios. But with the stuff I'm about to show you, turns this radio into a best-in-class performer on receive. It's not as hot as like a Herpes or a Anon, nowhere near as hot as that. But as you guys know, and as you have heard, I cannot run one of those radios because the static crashing is so horrific. And really funny, I was just listening to this idiot on 14222. He says, I will put my herpes up against anything. It's the best radio on the planet. I'm like, really, dude? You want to listen to that crap? And he just got finished talking about how this guy right here, freaking moron. He just got finished talking about how they did an update and Pure Signal's all screwed up. I don't know what the update was. Don't care. But I'm like, if you want to play with that garbage, man, go for it. I can tell you that this system I run is 100% stable. It's seamless. It's snappy. I don't have to deal with any of that crap. I'm so over that crap. I just want things to work. Light it up every single time I turn it on. It just works, and this system does. All right, so we're going to get into the software side of things. All right, for what I use for Logger, let me minimize this. And I'll minimize this. There's nothing in the chat, which is good. So I'm going to get rid of that. So what I use for a Logger is Log4OM. It's all tied via CAT to the radio. Been using it for a while. It's a good logger. It's not a contest logger. Contest logger, I use two different logs. I use N3FJP for the QSO parties exclusively, only because it's a phenomenal piece of software for the QSO parties. That's the only reason I use that program. It is a paid program, but it gives you all of the county list right there on the screen. So when you work a county and you load it in the Exchange, it automatically moves it from unworked to worked. So you know what counties you've worked before. Helps you pursue counties you haven't gotten without having to scan down through the log. Great piece of software. General, like DX contests, stuff like that, I use November 1 Mike. All right, enough about the logger. To handle all the audio, this is the next stage. So from the rack, it hits the sound card, and the sound card is connected to this piece of software, Voicemeeter Banana. I do use virtual audio cables to pass audio around. So the 7300 is actually sitting over on the shelf. I don't use it hardly ever. I'm probably selling it. Although it is a good backup radio if something happens. I don't know. I may sell that and pick up like a Yaesu or something as a backup radio. So Voicemeeter Banana picks up the audio, and I have videos on my channel. I'm not going to go through how to configure it. There's a whole masterclass series. If you look at my channel, type in masterclass series or masterclass, all those videos will pop up. It's in a playlist. Shows you how to configure all this stuff to make it work. All right, so what this does is it's basically an audio routing program, which will allow you to route audio to all different kinds of things. So my radio over here, you go up here, sound card, it's set to Voicemeeter Virtual ASIO. Okay, so this is communicating with Banana right here. Out of there. All right, so what I'm able to do is, see, even though I'm using an analog rack, I pass my audio virtually to all the radios. So the rig is communicating with Banana. So I set the microphone up to pass audio to, even though the audio is already processed, how do I get it there virtually? So I basically have a pass-through. This is a VST host pass-through. It's got an engine input and an engine output. All this does is it passes audio virtually, creates a virtual link to Banana, and then that in turn goes out to the radio on transmit. That's how that works. Now on the receive side, I do the same thing. So the radio is dumping audio out of the software, the received audio, and that's coming into Banana here in Voicemeeter VAIO. And what I do is I set up a virtual audio cable on A2, and that feeds this. And this is the RxDAP, much simplified over what I was running before. Run through this really quick. So if we go to devices, go to Wave. I have this connected to line 1 virtual audio cable, which Voicemeeter Banana. If you come over here, A2 is passing audio out through line 1 virtual audio cable. Okie dokie. And then the output for this software is on the M-Audio Air 192.4. So that goes directly out to the card. Okay. Now, let me run through the software really quick, and this is going to tie everything off. But this is what I'm saying. Pretty much the station is all software. It's all software driven. There's basically a radio, a mic, a rack, and an amp. Of course, power supply and the meter. But, I mean, if you think about how much hardware is involved, there's not a lot of hardware involved, aside from the rack. Okay, so this is the receive side. So I recently went ahead and purchased this. This is about $100. This is the Clear AI noise reduction by Supertone. Phenomenal. And then that goes into, let's see, the first thing it hits is this right here. This is the Brit Presser. I use this for hard limiting. And what this does is it helps tame the wild beast when you have someone at like an S7, S9, and then someone comes blasting in at 20, 30, 40 over. This will hard limit that signal, smoothing everything out so you don't have to ride your volume control and constantly monkey with stuff. Out of there, it flows into this Bertom denoiser. Now, you don't need to use the Pro version, but the Pro version allows you to do some very unique things. In my opinion, it's worth it for the amount of money. Go ahead and pay for it. If you want a killer noise reduction system that's better than anything out there, period, I would put this up against, and I haven't heard any noise reduction system that can do this. As far as hard limiting, leveling out stuff, it's got high and low roll-offs. So if you have someone with too much bottom end and their audio screwed up, you can click this button right here, and you can set this by clicking and dragging up and down whatever frequencies you want to remove. It's very good. And you can also set your bandwidth with these frequencies as well. So if you're running for DX, I leave it at 140 hertz to 3 kilohertz. So I'm going to roll this back to 3. And it will only pass audio from 140 hertz to 3 kilohertz, or let's say 2.9. So you can go to 2.9. And this also acts as a brick wall. Now, this is on receive. These are like high and low pass filters for your receive audio. Someone can be right up against the passband or even inside the passband. You won't even hear them. It's phenomenal. Very handy if you've got a radio like a 7300 that's basically a barn door. Right. So from there, it runs into the Supertone Clear noise reduction system. This will also remove, like if somebody's in an echoey room, this will actually deal with that. It'll remove it by shifting the voice reverb here. I don't touch it, but you can do that. From there, finally, it runs into the Ambio Orbit, which is free. And what this is, it's like a binaural imaging plugin. So it creates a stereo image of the monaural image, the mono audio source that's coming from your radio. It's kind of cool. Not practical for all applications, but if you have a good copy on people, it's very neat to listen to, really neat. It takes, and it's fully adjustable. You can also create a three-dimensional image using this. Very cool. So that's about it, you guys. Let me just check the chat quick. Hey, Andy, how's it going, man? So that ties everything off. I'm going to be back later. I already worked some guys with. I already worked some guys in the Maryland QSO party. There's not a lot of activity going on right now. I'll be back. It's going to light up later. So I'll be back later with that stuff. And I'm planning on spending quite a bit of time. I believe it goes 0 UTC, I believe is 8 p.m. And it goes to 400, 0400 UTC, which is midnight tonight. So I'll be back later. What's going on there, Captain KK 7PW? Jonathan. So that's it. We'll catch you guys later. I'm out of here. And, yeah. Oh. Oh. Let me put something in the chat quick, and then I'm signing off. Okay. The rest of you can hear me. Okay.